So think about this. Are C-sections the easy way out? Do women who choose natural births have bragging rights? One mommy blogger is fighting back against that stereotype, and it's getting a lot of attention on Facebook. Dejane writes, at the time, I was so frustrated that I had to have C-sections. Now it's all a blur. The real test is actually raising the kids. And my writes, just had my third C-section over a week ago. It sucked. The end. And isn't that the truth? Gynecologist Dr. Sujatha Reddy is joining us via Skype. And the woman who wrote that hilarious blog, I have to point out, joins us by phone. Her pen name is Lola Lolita. Lola, I have to ask you first and foremost, what set you off to write this thing? Because clearly you are ticked off.
Well, you know, I'm not sure that I was ticked off as much as I thought this notion that delivering via C-section somehow made a woman less than someone who had delivered via, vaginal natural birth. So I had seen on social media some memes or articles discussing C-section shame, and I thought it was kind of ridiculous. And so I wrote a post pointing out, how ridiculous that notion is.
It is a great post. I read through the whole thing. It's awesome. In fact, I want to show one of these memes that you're talking about here so people understand what it was. It reads, face the facts. You didn't really give birth. You caught a lucky break. Please show respect to superior women who actually had what it took to get the job done. Oh, my gosh. That's coming from a woman who had 3 C-sections, so I'm just not going to go there. Dr. Reddy, I'm going to bring you in to save me. Sometimes C-sections, and let's get this out on the table and clear it up, the life or death situations many times, yes?
Oh, yes. See, there's no doubt C-sections save moms' lives and they save babies' lives. OBGYNs are going to tell you nature's way is the best way, but I am so grateful for the ability to do C-sections because there's no questions we save babies and moms.
Bobby Mickelson is a mom, and she wrote, a mom's a mom no matter how she got there. And then we also have another comment from Joanne who said, I've experienced both natural birth and a C-section. I can honestly say natural birth is by far the easiest. Lola, what was so intriguing to me is in your post, and when you start reading it, I don't think you realize it's satire. By the end, you do. How many people went off on you in the comment section thinking that you were serious, that you weren't trying to make a point that, hey, we're not less than because we didn't have to push necessarily, right?
I had quite a few people, both in the comment section and they actually sent me private messages, criticizing some very cruel things were sent to me. And they either went off the headline alone or they only read the first couple paragraphs. And I encouraged them to go back and read it. And then I did receive apologies from them. And, also some people misinterpreted and thought that I was, bashing vaginal birth, which was not at all the case. I was simply sharing my experiences having 3 C-sections to show the realities of, C-sections. They're not that easy.
No, they're not the easy way out, and you're right. One of the things, Dr. Reddy, that disturbed me most is when I first heard about this, I said to our producer, Jennifer, I said, why do you even care? What does it matter? Why are we judging each other? If that's what works for them, great. If you have had a natural birth, all the more power to you. That's terrific, but why do you have to see me as less than to make yourself feel better? I don't understand. And again, we're generalizing here. We don't know that, not everybody does this, but it does seem like a very judgmental conversation. Do you hear these conversations where you work?
Yeah, we really do. And so what's happening is we're seeing a huge uptick in home deliveries because there's this overwhelming sort of pervasive thought that in general, the medical community is sort of over-medicalizing, if I can use that term, deliveries, where it's this natural, wonderful thing. We don't need all this intervention. And, most times things go perfectly well. You'd probably be fine to have your baby at home. But if things go wrong, they go very, very wrong. And again, having your baby in a control setting is the safest way to ensure a healthy mom, healthy baby. So, yeah, there's this feeling that there's too much intervention into a natural process and that the healthcare community is part of the problem. And I think that's where this is coming from.
Lola, what are your last thoughts here? What do you really want to interject?
I just want people to know that no matter which way you give birth, it's not easy. Vaginal, C-section, it's a tough job, and we should all, praise one another, support one another, rather than criticize.
Amen. And amen to healthy babies, because that's what it's about, too. Healthy babies.